Each year, the annual event brings thousands of runners, walkers, and wheelers to downtown Flint. Earlier today, we looked back at the early life of the man who started it all, former Michigan House Speaker Bobby Crim. Here's ABC 12's Christine Winter with the second part of her exclusive interview.
The nonprofit Crim Fitness Foundation has changed countless lives, offering free sports to Flint students, mindfulness programs, and so much more. But the man, the legend it's named for, is very humble about his role in the massive health and wellness movement. Mental toughness, resiliency, and a passion with purpose to stay the course. For Bobby Crim, running is a dance with destiny.
I like the half marathon, and I run a whole bunch of those. I won my age group in almost every one of them.
The former Michigan House Speaker is the man behind the world-class Crim Festival of Races and Fitness Foundation. It's amazing to think all of this is because Bobby said yes.
In 1976, I was in my first term as Speaker. The superintendent in Kersley High School invited me out to see a Special Olympics race.
It touched his heart.
I saw these people running, getting medals, being hugged, and everything else.
Bobby told his assistant about the nonprofit.
Lois Craig, who later became the race director, said to me, "Bobby, we should do something." I said, "Yeah." She said, "You're a runner. What about a race?" I said, "Okay."
What about a race? 4 words that changed everything.
So we met in her kitchen and put the first race together.
In August of 1977, 750 people registered for the first ever Bobby Crim 10-mile road race, including Olympian Bill Rogers. You could feel the vibrant energy elevating the massive crowds along the winding streets of Flint as they braved the stifling and sweltering summer sun.
One person had the job of setting up the race time. And guess what? Without my knowledge or anybody's, he set 12 noon in August as the starting time.
With that intense humidity and heat in the 90s, many of the sweat-drenched runners just couldn't finish the race.
A lot of people went to the medical tent that day.
Volunteers ventured to wonder if the Crim would be back.
We met and said, "What are we going to do?" And Lois said, "Well, let's go for number 2, and let's make sure we don't start it at noon."
The race took off, raising millions of dollars for Special Olympics. Over the last 47 years, there have been more than 250,000 race finishers. They include some of the top runners in the world.
People from like 22 countries and almost all the states as a result. That's huge. I like to say that we changed Flint and Genesee County from fat city to fit city. I had no expectation that it would evolve into what it has evolved in. It's mind-boggling. I think back and say, what if I hadn't have gone to that race that I was invited to in 1976? There wouldn't have been a Crim.
But the man whose name will forever be a part of Flint says it's not about him.
Without Lois Craig, this race would never have been a success. She was that important. She died recently at age 95. There's a lot of people like me. There's a lot of people. Many of them get no recognition, not enough recognition. Lois Craig was one of those. I wish that people would look out and see people that are really contributing to their community, really doing something, and recognize that.
There are also the countless Flintstones who've embraced the race and never let go.
History has not dealt well with Flint. Many blows. And people are very, very resilient here in this community. Very tough. people, but with a heart. And the community reached out and said, this is ours.
Bobby says the future of the Crim Fitness Foundation looks good, thanks to the dedicated and hardworking staff and board.
The success of any organization depends on people, not what I have done, but what the board members, the members of the staff, and the people in this community, what they have done.
At 92, he still works out every single day.
I have a bicycle, I do stretches, I do light weights, I do bands, I do sit-ups. The body likes regiment.
The Navy veteran, former teacher, and Michigan House Speaker who gave $1 million to the Crim Fitness Foundation and U of M Flint wants young people to know they can also succeed.
It's all about setting goals. All they have to remember is, motivation, drive, keep going. Somebody will help you. That somebody will recognize your effort.
And that's exactly what he'd like his legacy to be.
Sometimes just a little bit of help makes a big difference in their lives. So I hope that I'll be remembered as somebody who helped people, who was willing to help.
Just like someone helped a teenager named Bobby back in 1950 when he came to Flint with just $6 to his name. Well, Bobby is enjoying retirement and loves spending time with his family. He ran his last Crim in 2021, but will always be a huge supporter of the foundation and its work. In the studio, Christine Winter, ABC 12 News.